And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Isn't it nice outside? Odie was just telling me how it was. Great to wear a long sleeve shirt, nice and cool, but that's not going to last for long. As the bad news is, we're getting near 97 today. Tomorrow expected to be 100. Heat index anywhere from 103 to 105. It's going to be one of those days. Y'all know those when you try to suck air in and it's just heat. That's what tomorrow is going to be. So I highly suggest, as we always do things early or do things late outside, especially if you're not used to the heat. We don't want anything to happen to you. Heat, it can sneak up on you. And if you've never seen a heat stroke happen before, it's very, very dangerous. We say all this for those reasons, especially if you're used to, I've gotten to be one of those air-conditioned people. Y'all know that type that can't handle the heat anymore. Like me some AC. Good morning to you, Shirley. Morning. Also, Richard's up along with James, Miss Becky. Let's go to Collinsville. Don't forget they're going to be cracking the door on Sunday morning, inviting you in for a service. Let's go to First Baptist there in Collinsville.
You know, living in East Central Mississippi, we certainly know what it is to have severe weather. In fact, I read not long ago that Mississippi leads the nation in tornado warnings issued. Thankfully, Scotty Ray always has our back when the bad weather is coming. Now, storms in all their power, they destroy both property and lives. And look, that's true of the metaphorical storms in life as well. They will blow you down and blow you away. So with that in mind, listen to today's wisdom from Proverbs 10:25. It says, when the tempest passes, the wicked is no more, but the righteous is established forever. Beloved, that means the righteous will weather the storm. They'll be left standing. Why? Well, because they're established forever. By whom? The righteous are established by God. He's their rock and foundation, and they shall not be moved. But it's not that way with the wicked. When the storm comes, they are no more. They're blown down, blown away. They're destroyed. Why? Well, because their life isn't built on a foundation. They have no rock to anchor their soul. So the next storm, y'all, is coming. Are you ready? Listen, I beg you right now to turn to Christ. He's the rock and the foundation you need for both your body and soul. He's your only hope to weather the storm and experience life everlasting. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. I was telling Odie I must have looked at the light wrong. It caused me to sneeze. Anybody ever done that? Just comes out of nowhere. Morning, Miss Barbara. To Corey, glad to see everyone joining us. One thing I know is, you ever seen those jackets that have, it's in yellow writing and it says FBI. Never threatened one of those guys with a note. A Texas man is finding out the hard way. The agent who investigated Hunter Biden was threatened by a Texas man. They have come to visit. They left in cuffs. You can only imagine what all he said he would do. This is horror. If you mow grass for a living, how many landscapers do we have out there? For some, it's a side business. For others, it's their full way of income. They mow grass and zero turns. Texas, North Texas is where this happened. Mowing close to a pond. The lawnmower turned over. He was trapped under it. He didn't get cut. He was trapped in the pond underneath it. Couldn't get out. Firefighters tried. They pulled him out, got him to a hospital. He was still alive when they got out, but he would die from his injuries later. Watch those. Zero turns are heavy. It's not like the old lawnmowers that you could take and push off. Y'all remember those that you could get from Walmart years ago, back in the early 90s? They're not that way anymore. They're heavy, heavy, heavy. Lost his life with that. Watch the terrain, know what your mower can do. Just don't lose control of it. Ford kind of backing down on this. I never fell into it. I did not drink the Kool-Aid on this, but they were at one point charging dealerships up to $1 million to be able to sell the battery-operated vehicles. Well, they're doing away with that program. Why? Joe, the American people don't want it. Oh, sure, don't get me wrong. There are some that like the idea. Even an electric weed eater occasionally is nice, or a blower, but it's not taking off just yet. Charging Americans, businessmen, $1 million to sell that when it's not going to work. Anyway, the program is being avoided there, and they're dropping that to where it won't cost as much. He cried like a baby in court, I guess is what we could say. Minnesota is where we go. Well, they think it's all fun and games as they want to join ISIS, and he did. He was sentenced to 10 years in jail, cried like a baby, regretted what he done. He got what he deserved. Missouri, we talked about this earlier in the week, where they were going to put David Hauser to death. Years and years ago, he killed his, I guess you would call it, lover and her husband. Killed them both. Sat in prison for a long time. This is where, and maybe they did it to where it would go smoother, where it wouldn't be fought and tied up in court. But when somebody's done a heinous crime like this, I don't understand how the state will agree to make their death painless to where they will give them a shot, put them to sleep before the execution takes place. I somehow or another don't feel that they did this for the victims.
Did the victim get that?
No, the victim did not, Odie. We are becoming such a soft nation. I find trouble understanding how we can do such things. Lawmakers, wake up, wake up. There's fraud all across our world. Minnesota keeps coming up in topics this morning. They had a food program for children during COVID. Turns out it's going to be one of the biggest scams ever happened. An audit has happened. They didn't do what they wanted. Not all the arrests have taken, but it's a big, big scam. Now, I'm not saying it's as big as Mississippi's soccer complex.
Volleyball.
Volleyball. It was volleyball, wasn't it? Not saying it was that big, but it's pretty big. We still ain't got to the bottom of that Mississippi, have we? Shad White's still pulling for the truth out of this. We'll see. It's turned out to be a he said, and let me tear up my emails real quick. The truth, I hope, will come out. A lot of times it doesn't. We're seeing things happen in Washington we've never seen before. The DA, Texas is where we go next for our top story this morning. A criminal being escorted in for court. Has a knife, steals the DA's car, still at large. Man, oh man, oh man. It took twice before Tyson Foods acted on this. Their CFO, Chief Financial Officer, has been suspended after his second arrest. DUI this time. I mean, truly, you don't need a top executive in any business that continues to be in trouble with the law. You can't tell your employees not to do wrong if your head man is doing wrong, can you? Why somebody would do this, I don't know. But a former ICU nurse has been arrested. This is Oregon, where it is. It's 44 counts of it, of people that were in the hospital sick that needed fentanyl. Replaced it with water. Can you imagine and why?
She was taking the fentanyl and had to fill the little jar up with something.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And then
He may wear a ball cap during the day, but he's a detective by night. As Hody pointed out, she was taking that and using it for other things, putting water in that, and the patients needed it. There always has to be checks and balances no matter what the business is, especially when you get into areas to where there's drugs. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Let's see here. I watched the video. I'm not going to show the video of this, but I want flash mobs. How many times have we talked about this? This would happen again, and I've watched this over and over as they came in. Odie, it was a diamond store, jewelry store. 20 of them entered the store and they were gone within 60 minutes, busting, and out the door they go. It is becoming the biggest way that criminals do it. There's no way one person could have robbed the store, but 20, that quick and out, 60 seconds gone. It blows me away how this can happen. So that's some of the top stories that are happening across America this morning. We'll be back. We're going to look at your forecast, find out how hot it will be. You've gotten a hint of it. We'll get deeper into this. Elmer, morning there. Candy, Luke, How in the world are you doing? I hadn't talked to you in a long time there. Dorothy is with us. Irene, Miss Donna. We'll be right back with this forecast to let you know exactly what to expect today. Hubba, hubba, hubba. It's going to be warm today.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, daybeds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we look at radar this morning, look at this. Mississippi, Alabama, all clear. As we get to zoom in a little bit closer on this, we'll see some fog there developing in Chattanooga. And look at this, Asheville. We got a lot there. And when you get to Kentucky, just east of Bowling Green, heavy. If you're traveling this morning, if you're a truck driver in these areas, be careful. Nothing bad happening here. No signs of rain. Even back to Texas, all clear this morning. A few showers in Kansas there, in Colorado back into Albuquerque, New Mexico. A little bit out there to our west, but all looks good in the deep south. We can't complain about that at all, can we? Well, let's look at this and find out some of those. Let's see if I can get everything working here. Our record highs and record lows as we go back to what year? 1963. Wasn't that a Bob Seger song? I think it was. He mentioned 63. 103 on that day. Back in 95, we had a cool day. It was 55 degrees. Not bad at all. Let's see. Today's sunshine, 97 expected for our high in Meridian. We'll see 96 in Columbus and over in Starkville. Greenwood, Mississippi, down the Delta, 95. And we should see 93 further south down to Natchez. Beautiful weather across there. As we look at Bama, boy, it's hot. Tuscaloosa, 98 today, coming in a little warmer than Meridian. 97 in Selma. Even Auburn will see 96. In Gadsden, a cooler 95. As we come across to see what's happening here, here's that heat stress we talked about for tomorrow. Look at that. Temperatures will be anywhere from 97 to 101, but the heat index will be at least 105 for tomorrow and Sunday. This is going to be a hot weekend. We want you to take precautions. Stay hydrated, avoid outdoor stuff in the middle of the day, and take breaks. You'll need it if you're outside doing something. Over and over. Don't overdo it is what we're adding to this. Here's the 6 to 10 day outlook there. It's warm, even in northern Mississippi, a little warmer than where we are in the central portion of Mississippi. Alabama about the same there, even back to Louisiana. Now, as we pull up our 7-day outlook, 97 today, 100 tomorrow, 98 on Sunday. And both of these days, again, they have that heat index of 105. By Monday, we decrease just a little bit because we have rain in the forecast of 93 for a high, 40% chance of showers. Slight chances of rain Tuesday through Thursday. And again, they're ever so slight. But 92 to 94, about the average there that we'll see next week. As we move ahead until June the 28th, we're going to stay steady at 90. A bigger chance of rain there on the 23rd and 24th and 5th along in there. We'll watch that closely. Boy. Now, as we move forward with this, let's look at our fishing forecast for today. It's perfect, kicking off at 7 o'clock this morning through about 9. Again, this afternoon, about 7:30, be there. After you get off work, the sun will be going down. It'll be great fishing until dark. The wind's going to be calm, becoming east-northeast around 5 miles an hour. Chet keeps us up to date on our fishing forecast. What is happening in the Gulf? Let's look at what's happening here. Now, this is not going to bother anybody. This is about a 20% chance that this could become a hurricane. We're watching this out of Mexico, a 40% chance that this will develop in the Gulf. Now, we're unsure where it will go toward Texas, if it'll go to Florida or possibly Mississippi at this point. But we're watching closely as to what becomes of this. One of our first that we've had developed this early in the hurricane season in a while, headed toward the Gulf. So we'll be on top of that, watching that over the next few days. It'll develop. We'll let you know. Already, 6:46 this morning. Everybody got their smile? It takes it. Barbara said the year I was born. I remember those. Sheila, good to see you. Miss Georgia Carroll joining us. Irene. Many of you up and at 'em. Now, we've got the morning show coming up. We'll tell you all that has happened over the last 24 hours. A few moments ago, there was an armed robbery in Meridian, but very isolated. We'll tell you the details on that. Nothing to worry about. It was, I guess you could call it a domestic type robbery. Knew each other. We'll tell you about that coming up at the top of the hour. Join us, won't you? Greg will be here. Julia is rolling in. She's doing makeup. I think she's got her crew working on.
Yeah.
Takes about 10, doesn't it?
She's the only one of the group that's got her hair and makeup.
Yeah, the rest of us don't use hair and makeup. We're going to be okay. But it all gets underway at the top of the hour. Join Scotty Ray and Odie, all the gang for a Friday show. It kicks off at 7. Be in the know. Join us. We'll see you soon.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.